Scott, you've had a week to reflect on the Carnarvon Town game and of course the general situation that TNS is in regarding the league position. What are your general thoughts on that?
Yeah, you have spells in any club's sort of ongoing performances that sometimes are a little bit disappointing. I think we are currently in one of those spells. We had it last year. We discussed with the players. We talked to them. We had a meeting the other day, and sort of we go over a few things that have been disappointing or that we feel that are not up to the standards that require. But we're all focused and in it together, and we're a good side. We've had a little bit of sort of upheaval, but we haven't been as fluid, and that's down to some of the starting lineups we've had just because of selection, injuries and whatever else, and illness or whatever. So I think what it's shown is as a whole squad, are we as good when our main characters are out of the team? Some might say that our strongest 11 is very good and capable of putting on a run of results, and maybe the squad in depth isn't quite there at the moment. But one thing's for sure, we're working hard enough. We've trained 4 days this week, and we're ready for the game Saturday to kick on. What I have said is that we do need to get back to clean sheets, because we haven't had one since day one, which was our bread and butter last year. Our strength, our platform to build on was certainly towards the end of the season was our clean sheets and our dominance of other teams. So look, every team goes through sticky spells. You look at the Premiership, you look at Man City, how well they did last year, and then this year they've stuttered a bit for whatever reason, whether that's key players out or just spells in the season where you do find yourselves in a tricky situation. But what it does find out is that it's the real characters that step in, whether that be from a squad member or players that roll their sleeves up and just get on with things and take the game by the scruff of the neck. If you look at our last 2 games, I know you don't always look at possession and stats like that, but we've totally dominated the ball without actually hurting the goal too much. So I don't think we've been playing at a 5 or a 6. I think we've probably been playing at a 7 without actually hurting the opposition. So we all know what's needed. We're a few points behind, a little bit of work to do, or a lot of work to do, but it's within us, no problem whatsoever.
You've already made reference to the next question there on both of the points that I wanted to raise, because in the last 3 games, if you include Bangor City as one of those in 2 league games, the New Saints has conceded 3. That's just 1 in 90 minutes, which isn't the end of the world, but it seems that the problem is scoring goals, because just 1 goal in 270 minutes. How much of a concern for you and the coaching staff is that at this moment in time?
Yeah, a little bit. Of course it is. If you're not scoring and winning games, then you look at everything. You look at yourself. You look at your players. You look at everything from the start of the season, how we're building up, how we're creating, how many chances we're getting. But again, you look at stats, and we're probably creating still 15 attempts in a game. We're having 700 passes. We're dominating. The opposition are probably having 250, 300. So that tells you that we're dominating the ball. Whether we're dominating the right areas and at the right speed and with the right intensity is another matter. But I think if you look at how many goals we've still scored more than anybody else in the league. But I do feel that we need to be more ruthless in both boxes, obviously, again. And I think I'd take a goal in the first minute that hits someone's backside and goes in, or we get a penalty or anything like that, just to start us off again, just to get us going and get a bit more belief in our play. That's all it is. You can't put your finger on it with I wouldn't say it's lack of confidence. I'd say it's just one of those spells that we need to get out of. We had it last season. As soon as we got 1 goal, we were beating teams 4 or 5 again. So I feel that it just takes one of those moments in a game to kickstart us.
And as we look at the league as a whole, last weekend, Connaskey Nomads and Barrytown United, they both won by just 1 goal. There are 3 points that separate 5 teams at the top, from 2nd to 6th place. Do you feel that the league is heading this way, that there will be tighter margins, fine margins as it progresses? You've just done your pro licence course, and alongside you were managers from the JD Cymru Premier. So would you say that the league is getting better and it is becoming a league of fine margins?
Yeah, if you look at last year was 12 points, the year before was 14, so the year before that was probably 27. So yes, teams are getting better, the league's getting stronger, but we also need to make sure that we are keeping that distance from the other teams as well. We all know that we play each other 4 times. We've got to play Barry, Connaskey. We haven't played Connaskey yet. There's lots of points there, which I suppose does help going into the second stage of the season. But other teams in our league, top 6, can beat anybody. And it's the teams that put that run together and really get that dominant streak is the top team at the end of the season. So look, nothing's won in October, like we keep saying. We're not panicking. We've got good players. We'll work hard with them and make sure that we do come out on top. Everything about our league and the way we've done in the last 8 years is dominance, and hopefully we can turn the corner this weekend. We're looking for 9 in a row. There's no doubt about that.
And back to the present, Airbus UK Broughton, they're back in the big time, and we play them of course tomorrow here at Park Hall. Last weekend they had a very creditable 1-1 draw with Cardiff Met. Their confidence has lifted, they're in 8th place. The New Saints, regardless of the current form, will be favourites to win this game. So as far as Airbus is concerned, they have nothing to lose going into the fixture.
Yeah, new side into the league again. I've spent some time out of the Welsh Premier League, so they've got some good players. I've seen them a couple of times, seen them already this season. They played Bala, one of the early games of the season, so yeah, we'll know what they've got. They've got some good young players. They like to play the ball through midfield as well. Like to get it into Alex Darlington, who we know a lot about anyway. So yeah, we'll know all their strengths and weaknesses before going into tomorrow.
And what sort of approach do you think they will have coming to Park Hall? Because that, as a manager, determines how you set up and approach your side of the game.
They've been playing back 3. They've looked at a back 4, but majority of the time they've played a back 3 with wing backs. So I don't know if they're going to set up like that against us. Possibly, like you said, they've had a creditable draw, a 1-1 last week. Cardiff Met. They scored late on. Did score very late on, but yeah, there wasn't much between the sides on the day. So yeah, why wouldn't they come here and give it a real go? Who knows how they're going to set up, but we're well aware of how they can set up anyway.
You said after the Carnarvon game that you believe you have the best squad in the league, but how has the injury situation affected that? Because in your time at the New Saints, you did say recently, Scott, that you've never known anything like this at all, and although there's a good depth of squad that you have at your disposal, nevertheless the fluidity, the options, they haven't been there for you in recent games as much as you would have liked.
It does. It changes the team dynamic. There's no doubt about that. I think at one time we had 9 players out playing away at Carmarthen. We did have a couple of the young boys, and they got their debuts. So in a way it's good, but in a way obviously you want your strongest team available, your strongest squad, so that players are on their toes and you're not just selecting players that are just available to play. You want competition, healthy competition, and you also you want training to be at it as well, because if you're only having 11, 12 in training, when you want to work on opposition and things like that, it's very difficult to do so. So yeah, again we'll have a couple of players out tomorrow, probably 3 or 4 out tomorrow, but like I said, these players will get given chances to stake a claim. If they're not up to the task, then when the other players are back full fit, then they come back into the side. It's as simple as that.
Well, Scott, thank you for your insight today, not only into the game against Airbus, but also the general situation at Parkhill. And finally, as we always ask, what is the injury situation like ahead of tomorrow's game? Although you've already made allusion to that just now.
Probably 2 or 3 out tomorrow. Hopefully get them all back for next weekend.